Hey, thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners. This is where we profile Albion Park each and every Saturday night, speak with a couple of drivers and get their insight on their drives ahead of this big program this weekend. We've got 9 on the docket on Saturday night, action getting underway at 5:37. And overall, it's a really good program coming through this weekend as well. The free-for-all, which is race number 2, a very interesting race. Over a mile. Can they go close to a track record? Well, we'll find out a little bit more. In this edition of Weekend Winners, I'm going to speak with Angus Garrard and Nathan Dawson. Harness racing this Saturday night, as always, at Albion Park, and we've got a good 9-event program coming through. Angus Garrard is our first guest this week, and he jumps in the hot seat to go through his book of drives. Angus, appreciate the time.
No worries. Thanks for having me, Chris.
Tommy Lincoln is your drive in the opener. This looks to be a race in 2. Would I be right in saying that? Tommy Lincoln v Mac Da Vinci?
Yeah, it sort of looks a bit that way, Chris, although you can't sort of discount the rest of the field. It's sort of a pretty strong race overall.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And you guys have got to overcome tough draws. You're dealing with Gate 7 with Tommy Lincoln and Mac Da Vinci the outside of the second row. You picked off Tommy Lincoln last week. You were loyal with Rock and Roll Lincoln. No doubt you caught the run of Tommy Lincoln. What did you think of last week's effort?
Yeah, I thought he was really good again, Chris. You can't sort of be too critical of a horse that sort of finished on the back of him in a sub 52 mile. So I thought he was very good.
What do you do from Gate 7? Do you want to try and stay in front of Mac Da Vinci, or is there just too much speed to your inside? How do you see it early?
Ideally, I think we'd like to stay in front of Mac Da Vinci, but we're just going to have to size it up coming out the gate again this week. So whether we end up in front of him or behind him, Tommy Lincoln's been running super halves week in, week out. So I don't think it'll make too much difference. I think he's going to go very close. Okay,
set the record straight. He's no one-trick pony. 2,100 metres, no issues?
No, definitely not.
Okay, well, that's Tommy Lincoln, a great drive there in that first race. In race 2, you've got the drive on Subtle Delight. This guy's going well. He scored that victory 2 starts ago. Didn't look like he had a great deal of racing room last week. He's got Gate 7 here on Saturday night. How do you rate his chances?
Yeah, I think he's racing super, Chris. He's hit really good form again, and it'll be good to get back on him. I've won a couple on him before, so it'll be nice to get back behind him again.
It is a hot field, though, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. They're obviously going to go super quick again with a few speedsters in there drawn close. So we're just going to have to hope for a bit of luck. But if we can sort of catch a split somewhere and be running over the top, I'm sure he's capable.
So it's a simple plan. Drift back at the start, find the pegs and just follow that hot speed that's going to be set in this race up front and then just drive for luck over the latter part.
Yeah, it looks that way, Chris.
Okay, let's go across now to race number 5. SQUIRE is your drive here. He's drawn the inside of the second row, which probably isn't ideal, but when you start breaking this race down, it's probably a good spot here because you're right behind the likely leader and favourite in Life Lavros.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. We got the right draw, so if we can stick with him to the top of the straight, hopefully we can take that closing shot.
SQUIRE last week was good running second. He was able to get nice and handy to the speed here. So he's going to be in for a similar type trip. So he shouldn't be too far away. And being a mile, that looks ideal.
Yeah, for sure. He's been racing really well. So hopefully we can go very close.
Do you give yourself any chance of running down Life Lavros?
I think if sort of Franco Hampton applies a fair bit of pressure to Life Lavros, we can probably run him down. But if he sort of gets an easy middle quarter in the middle somewhere there, he's going to be very hard to beat.
Okay. Race number 6 on Saturday night. This one for the mares, and you've got the drive on a Miss Victoria. Good pickup drive as well because she's shooting for 3 in a row here. She's on the back up after winning on Wednesday night. Gate 7, again, not easy, but she's got winning claims.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. It's certainly a sticky draw, but she couldn't have really been any more impressive her last 2 starts here at Redcliffe. So hopefully if she's going just as good, she can be right there.
Is there a lot of speed drawn to your inside or not?
It's a little bit hard to line up, Chris. It's probably just going to be a case of see what happens when we leave the gate. Obviously, Catamac's drawn there in 6, so and there's a couple of other ones that can get out the gate okay inside, so we're just going to have to size it up.
Main dangers look to be Catamac, along with the stablemate of Miss Victoria, AJ Breezy Rose, and Blissful Lily's a newcomer, so she's a query runner for sure.
Yeah, that's right. They're definitely sort of probably the three that we've got to try and beat.
Okay. Race 7, you finally got a good draw here, and it's with a good one to get. Invincible Loxton. He lands the inside gate. First and foremost, will he hold up off the inside?
Yeah, he'll have no trouble holding these, Chris.
Can he take them all the way then?
I think so. He was a little bit disappointing two back, I thought, but his last run was good. He ran a nice last half, and they went sub 53. So I think he'll be quite good this week, and hopefully if he gets a little bit go his way, he can make it hard for him.
Okay. And in the last race, Sir Fahrenheit, your drive. Good last week, running second, so if he repeats that, he's going to be right in the thick of things.
Yeah, definitely. I thought he was awesome last week, Chris. He was first up since that. He was a little bit disappointing in the Trotters Cup there during the carnival, but he was certainly back to form last week, and hopefully he can go close again this week.
The 2,647 metres, is that more to his advantage this week?
Yeah, I think that probably helps a little bit, Chris. The tempo is probably not going to be as strong early, and it'll give us a little bit more time to get into the contest.
It is a handy field, this one, and with some of those that are off the front, like Aladdin, Sane and Doug, they're more than capable, so it should be very competitive, this trot.
Yeah, that's right. It's certainly not going to be easy, but I think if he repeats his performance last week, I think he'll be very close.
Okay, good push there for the trotter in the last. Your best drive on Saturday night?
It's a bit hard to pick, Chris. I'm really looking forward to Tommy Lincoln. I think Sir Fahrenheit's going to go very close, and Invincible Loxton's got the right draw this week, so hopefully all of them can go close.
Well, hopefully it's a treble. At worst, we'll take a bookend double with Tommy Lincoln and Sir Fahrenheit. Angus, as always, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
Well, the man of the moment's about to join us in the hot seat to go through his book of drives for this Saturday night. Before we get to this Saturday night, though, let's just rewind the clock. Last Saturday night, Group 1 race at Albion Park, the Albion Park Gold, proudly sponsored by Australian Pacing Gold, and it was My Ultimate Levi that was able to cause the upset. Most expected the star filly Cat King Cole to lead all the way from her inside draw. As it turned out, she got pounded in that opening quarter, 26-6. My Ultimate Levi racing three back on the inside, red and blue jacket, starts to work one off there as that horse behind Cat King Cole starts to yield ground. Then he goes back to the inside, and there's My Ultimate Levi seeing open space on the inside, shooting through, and the son of Betting Line is able to run past his rivals and give Nathan Dawson his third Group 1 victory. Teddy Disco recently, Jiggle and Jive being the first. Those first two, they were expected because they were favourites on Saturday night. It was a long shot. How did that feel for you, Nathan Dawson? As I say, congratulations.
Yeah, no, it was a great thrill, you know. The ones that aren't expected are even better, so no, I couldn't ask for anything more after Saturday.
He really let down nicely there over the latter part.
Yeah, he does. He has a good turn of foot, and, you know, as we've seen before, but everything just went right for us Saturday, and we made the most of it.
Well, another Group 1 for you. You've got 5 drives here on Saturday night. We need some more winners, so let's go through them. We start with a ripper. This free-for-all, which is race 2, Crunch Time. You know this guy inside out now. He's finally come up with a front row draw, but he's got speed to his inside. It is a mile. How does this race play out for you?
Yeah, it's going to be a fast run race, you know. Maywin's Best likes to hold the front, and my horse likes to roll, so it's going to be a hot tempo, but I'm pretty confident with this fella.
Can you sit parked and win this race?
Yeah, I think so. You know, last week he had to do a mountain of work in 51, yeah, and he just fell short. So this week, lobbing straight there, I think he should be too good.
Okay, what about a horse like Colt 31 if he's camped on your back or probably only 2 lengths from you? Is he a chance of running over the top of you?
Yeah, he probably is. You know, he went awesome last start. He made up good ground from back in the field. So if he's not far away, he'll be in the finish. But, you know, being up there handy straight away, you're not going to have to do as much work. So probably the last quarter will be a bit quicker this week than it was last week.
How does Crunch Time feel? Is he still like at the peak of his power? Is he getting tired? Does he feel like he's tired?
No, I think he's getting better each week, you know. Like, he's having these hard runs, but, you know, he's just benefiting from it. So I think this week he should be pretty close again.
Okay, well, that's going to be a ripping race. Race number 2, the free-for-all. Let's go across to race 3. You're with At West Point again. First of all, can you lead this field?
Yeah, I think so. You know, he was good last week, and he should have the respect again this week. So we're going to go forward and just use his usual race pattern and see how he goes.
So can he go one better?
I'd like to think so. I mean, It's probably a little bit tougher this week without and a little bit in the draw, but this week we'll just go forward and roll along again and see what happens.
Okay, there is going to be speed to your inside. There's a couple there that can run the gate. And with Saucy Dreams on your outside, you know that it's going to be a constant tempo.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, she's out of form at the moment and it's going a bit ordinary, but if she brings her best form, she's definitely in this race.
Okay, so don't drop off at West Point.
No, not at all.
All right. Notorious, he's lining up in a race number 4. He's on the backup after scoring on Wednesday night. And he was good winning on Wednesday night, so it didn't shock anyone. Most of all you. I know you gave him a good push there on radio during the week. Can he go back-to-back?
Yeah, I think he can. You know, he's good on Wednesday night and probably pulled the wrong rein coming to the outside, but he's still too good. So he had a nice cosy trip and he should be pretty good for Saturday night.
This is a good quality lineup. The key runner here is Governor Jujon, who's first up off a injury-forced layoff. You've seen him at the trials. You've probably been in those trials. How do you gauge his fitness right now?
Yeah, I think he must be pretty close to the mark, or Grant probably wouldn't want to be starting him. So, you know, good horses, they always thereabouts. So, I mean, he's probably the one to beat.
Okay, his stablemate Virgil looked good on Tuesday. He was sharp over the mile. He was driven aggressively, but he was able to cope. It was only a skinny margin, but it was a winning one. Can he be a threat as well?
Yeah, you can never ride horses off like that, you know, so he can make his own luck, and with ability on their side, they're always there in the finish.
Okay, race number 6 on Saturday night. Your comments here are vital. Blissful Lily having her first Queensland start, no trial, joins an astute stable, Sean and Michelle Grimsey, 2 off the second row. Can she win first up in Brisbane?
Yeah, I reckon she can. You know, I had the choice of 3 drives in that race and I've stuck with her, so I think she's probably the one to beat, and also the 8, but the 8's got a bit of a tricky draw there, so I'm liking my chances a little bit more.
What was the thing that stood out for Blissful Lily in comparison to those other drives that you were listed for?
Oh, she's just been ultra consistent, you know, coming off Menangle form and that down south up here. Most of them go pretty good, and seen a good trailing draw compared to the other 2 where they might run into a bit of traffic.
Sean and Michelle Grimsey, they do a great job with their team, but in many ways they're largely underrated, aren't they? They always prepare their horses and they seem to be spot on each and every time they start.
Yeah, 100%. They do a magnificent job with their horses, and you know, they probably go a little bit unnoticed because they don't have the big numbers, but you know, if I had a horse, I wouldn't be worried about giving it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Race number 7 on Saturday night, Sean Tray. This is the veterans pay, so we've seen plenty of these guys. He is a gate speed horse. Can he lead this field from gate 4?
Yeah, I think he can. You know, he's got good gate speed and he's usually driven pretty aggressive, so he's always fighting out the finish and make it into a staying contest, so, you know, it should be not a bad draw for him.
He's been down the line at his past too, but he went back-to-back prior to those last 2 starts, so he is capable.
Yeah, definitely, you know, and Ryan also does a great job with his team and can get them going, so if he's near the money, you know, I'm sure he'll be in with a winning chance.
Well, you've got a great bunch of drives here on Saturday night, good stables as well. Which one are you most keen on?
Yeah, crunch time, I think we'll give the track record a nudge.
Okay, race 2, number 3, 50.4. That's the track record. We'll see if you'll get close. See if you're a good judge of speed. Appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Good to be on, Chris.
As always, a big thanks to our drivers, Angus Garrard and Nathan Dawson, and we wish both guys all the best of luck coming through on the weekend. Time for a best bet. I think we be patient, wait for the back end of the program. Race 8, number 4, Total Diva. This was a real eye-catcher last Saturday night. Love the way she attacked the line off a poor draw. Better drawn this week, coming up with that gate 4. I think she'll be close to the speed, and I think she can take this race. So race 8, number 4, Total Diva, the best bet on Saturday night. If you are having a gamble this weekend, bet with your head not over it, gamble responsibly. We'll see you trackside, our first race at 5:37.